The storm scene specifically was one of the hardest scenes of the entire shoot for both of you. What was it so specifically about all of the different complexities of that? Because you're filming at night, you've got weather effects, the water has to be doing something specific, and so how did you kind of problem solve your way through it?
That shoot would have been challenging if you had a real special effects team.
Sorry, don't say that.
Well, I shouldn't say that, but it's true.
Like roller skates. Okay, roller skates.
We would, right before we'd start shooting, like the rain bar, the one in the middle would stop, so you'd have rain on both sides. Yeah, I mean, just that's the kind of thing that you're dealing with all the time.
You have to tell the Jody story.
I know, and so we were testing the dump tanks.
So dump tanks like create waves, right?
Yeah,
you
and they
don't
also
have wave
create
machines.
the like water splashing against the boat, and so we had this dump tank, and we were trying to figure out how close we wanted it to the boat, and so we put one of our stunt doubles.
It takes
in the
like
boat.
2 hours to move one dump tank, just so you understand. So
And-
we're like, we should be there, but maybe we should move it.
Yeah, so we just had to put someone to test it, and one of our really amazing stunt doubles got in the boat, and the dump tank was a little too close, and it dumped, and she like shot out of the boat. And we're sitting there
And
looking
my
at our
first words
screens,
were like, I really
literally.
hope Jody didn't see that.
And Jody's standing right behind us.
She's like, hey guys, I'm here.
Yeah, it was, we were like, oh. And then after that, Chai installed a mirror on our screen in the directing tent so we could see
Because you've got
who
like
was
video
behind
footage.
us.
And I was like,
Go to Walmart, buy a mirror, put it right there.
We need to know who's watching
Yeah.
behind us. But no, I mean, it was a challenge. I mean, I think it's just one of those things where there's, every time you add a layer of complexity to a shoot, it's all about the time and the schedule.
I also really wanted to ask you both about the use of music in the film, because it's not even just a case of what feels great for the soundtrack, but what feels specific to the character, what would be the music that Diana would be listening to, but there's also the reference in the script of it has to be in a 4/4 beat because it has to fit with the pace of the swimming, and so therefore the soundtrack has to match that as well.
So not only does it have to be a 4/4 beat, but it has to be the most expensive music, of our time, like from Neil Young to Janis Joplin, Paul Simon, Creedence. It's just like, it was one of those things, and these are the actual songs that she listened to. We were able to cut out the Beatles, which probably let us afford everything else. But, for us, it was about, again, like memory. Like this, she's not listening to it as a 15-year-old today listening to like archive. She's remembering the shows she saw. She's remembering what pulled her through it when she was 28. And I don't know, again, it was like this testament to how our studio, Netflix, really pulled us through it. Like they always, it's funny because we're in the middle of a SAG strike and we entirely identify with the actors, and like we're sad Diana, who's also a member of SAG, as well as Annette, Jody, and Reese, can't be here with us, but this is also a very good story about how the studio supported us every single step of the way, even when you give them a music build, it's like crazy, because they understood it was important for the story. And so, yes, but Alexander Desplat, who came on, who we've asked to score every single movie we've ever made, he's always said no. Really, he's always said no. No. I think the docs, and we can't, whatever. So he watched this movie, and his first question was like, everything's in 4/4 beat, does the score need to be in a 4/4 beat? I was like, I don't know. But it was one of those like really amazing moments where, again, someone was only working on the film because they believed in the film. Like he had no reason to try to write a score in 2 weeks, which he did. But that's, again, just like people only showed up because they wanted.
And lastly, the film is such a wonderful exploration of just the determination and the dedication that it takes to accomplish anything, without, not even that accomplishment, something even close to that. And I was just interested for both of you in terms of like what you're proudest of capturing in the film in regards to just really exploring that theme and that topic?
So, I mean, I'm just incredibly proud of the opportunity to create two really rich roles for two of the best female actors of their time. Women are always asked to, like, I don't know, be more likable, whatever it is, and I'm tired of it, and it was just, like, so invigorating and, like, empowering to have the freedom to just do it, right? And, like, and present these roles, and then, like, and that, amazing. Like, she trained for a year for the physical demands, but she also was not afraid of portraying a woman in her full complexity, likable or unlikable, and, like, for both of them, they clearly trained physically for a very long time, but they were both adamant that we can't touch up their bodies. Like, there's no, like, I don't know, sugarcoating of it, because they were committed because they were playing women of a certain age. And it's so rare that it gets to happen. So, that's what I'm
I mean, I think what attracted us to the story was, this idea of, and we love exploring stories about people who are pushing the limits of the human potential. And that, event itself is one part of it, but the other part of the story that we loved was the story about friendship. And, it was pretty extraordinary to actually watch, because Nyad and Jody were acquaintances before the film, but they'd never really known each other. And seeing that friendship happen in real life, and then, they've become very close over the course of making the film, and then, being able to tell that story and hopefully have that come across on screen for people is, really satisfying.
I really, really love that. Well, congratulations on a fantastic film.
Thank you so much. And Ethan are there are two actors in the film, and they're here tonight. It's Luke plays the shark expert, and Ethan is Diana's very special kayaker. I don't know, I can't see you guys. But just wave. Thank you.